Franklin Masseuse is facing sexual assault charges and allegations of touching customers' genitals. When you read this article, you see like Ying Feng Huang, 58, of Chicago, is facing 2 counts of fourth-degree sexual assault, according to a criminal complaint. You have no idea if it's a man or a woman, like with regular English names, Spanish names. You can tell like right away, most of the time, the sex of the person you're dealing with. But with like the Chinese name, for example, it's not that easy. Or maybe not only Chinese, but many Asian names, like Korean names, some Japanese names. It'd be hard for us to distinguish. And I'm looking at the age. This person, 58 years old, facing 2 counts. And I'm asking myself, if this woman was like 22 years old, would this guy complain? Here it is. Franklin police log entry from May 10th said a man and 19 years old requested a 45-minute massage and said a masseuse, later identified as Huang, touched his genitals without consent. A Nurture Massage Spa, 6564 S Lovers Lane Road. Wow. You have to wonder about that. Putting a massage parlor on Lovers Lane Road. You can't make this up. According to the criminal complaint, an undercover police officer went to the same spa on June 29, where Huang also touched his genitals without consent. See, she's not good at this, because usually in the old days, these people were kind of like trained, to detect who may be the police. Both the 19-year-old and undercover officer said they stopped Huang from any further sexual contact. I remember when I was like, I don't know, maybe in my mid-20s or so forth, and I went to one of these massage places in Manhattan, and it was a Korean woman, and she said to me, a guy young like you, and I'm reading this thing, and the guy this lady touched upon, he was only 19 years old, was much younger than me when I went. And the lady said to me, at your age, you're young. And yeah, I was young in those days. It was like in my mid-20s or so forth. And she said, you don't need a massage. You don't have any sex. What you need is sex. That's what she said to me. What you need is sex. Yeah. You don't need a massage. So she was upfront, and she told me that. Whereas these guys, a 19-year-old guy going to get a massage, you got to ask yourself, what kind of stress this guy has that he needs a massage. And another question too is, if that lady didn't look like 58 years old, let's say she looked like maybe 22, would he have complained? Would he have filed a complaint about her? I'll never know the answer, but it will be interesting to know. If your guy is 19 years old, and a 21-year-old female puts her hand in your genitals, how many of us guys would really complain? Especially if you get a massage. So, let's see here. Franklin police said the service served a search warrant for the business on September 27 and arrested 2 women, Huang and the spa owner. Franklin police sought charges against both women, but the district attorney's office chose not to charged a 50-year-old owner with keeping a place of prostitution. Look at here how it is in America, except for like the state of Nevada, where prostitution is still a big deal, and at least the corruption, like here in New York, police officers in Manhattan will like go into this place, massage parlor, getting free sex, stuff like that. Part of the corruption, being police officers. And they were going to these Asian massage parlors, getting free sex, so they wouldn't have to be shut down. you know. Whereas you go to a place like Mexico, right? You cross the border like to Tijuana or whatever. You don't have these issues. As corrupt as the police may be in Mexico, the police ain't gonna charge you for having sex with some girl or so forth. Or even in Amsterdam. I was there many years ago. I remember one morning walking around, and I had this loud siren, like you hear in the movies, an area siren during the war. And I saw two police officers. They were on their bikes, like bicycles, and they just jump off, run in the building. So it was kind of like curious, what the hell is going on? This loud noise. Mm-hmm. And they came down and they said that one of the customers accidentally pulled, there's like a cord there. Apparently, where these girls work, they have like a cord if there's an emergency. They pull on it, and it sets off an alarm, and apparently the girl didn't pull it. The guy was all excited. I guess maybe the sex was so good that he pulled on the cord and set it off. And you had this loud noise, piercing sound. And then eventually was shut off. So that's what the police told us. That's what was happening. So getting back to America, here we are, and we locking up people for 1.5 sex or stuff like that. Let's see. Here. Huang admitted to touching both the officer, and that's an undercover officer, and the 19-year-old, and said she did so to earn extra money. See, she doesn't even know her rights, because like if you go to school there, like when I went to school, high school, back in those days, they teach you about your Miranda rights. There was this guy named Miranda, and that's where they got it from. That you have the right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything because it could be used against you by the police. So she actually admitted to touching both the officer and the 19. She could have done like Donald Trump. Remember him? That someone of like 16 different women claim he sexually abused, did different things with them, and he denied everything. Even going so far to say, well, she's not my type. She's not that good looking anyway, that I want to sexually abuse her. And people accept, even some women accept what he said. One woman I had a conversation with, online that is, not in person, she said, all those women are lying. Imagine that. And this is a woman talking like that, saying all these women are lying. And yet Trump is one of the greatest liars there is. You can tell when he's lying. I mean, really, But yet people have some kind of obsession with the man. But anyway, so this woman, obviously she doesn't know anything about Miranda rights. She says she did so to earn extra money to send to her family. See? So now she's in trouble with the law. and they shut the place down. Yeah, see, shut the place down. So Franklin Planning Department revoked the zoning compliance permit for the business, effectively shuttering it. The same day police served the search warrant. The revocation was due to commercial activities occurring in the business that were not authorized by the permit. Sometimes, you read some of these stories, you get the feeling we still live in the America where when those people came here like from England, you know. Yeah. They landed in Plymouth Rock and they came looking for freedom from the British Crown to live a different life, practice their own religion, and happy to step off the Mayflower. That was it, the Mayflower. It seems though we back in those days again, when people long for the days of the Mayflower. Yep, that's how it is now, I guess. You know. Anyway, let's see here. Shut this off.